Good evening, friends. This is Arpita here. We are going to, in the transformation series, part 5. Today, we are going to talk about fourfold way. How the living of the fourfold way. What is this fourfold? We'll be talking the ways of a healer, a teacher, a warrior, and a visionary. Right? And what are these ways? How do we live these stages? We all have come here in realizing so many things about ourselves. So we can say if the way of the teacher in as is active, then the way of learning explodes easy. And when we know the way of a vision, we know what to see and what to goal and how do we see ourselves at the end of the play, right? And now, when we say as a warrior, challenges that life throws onto us as opportunities in exploring ourselves. When we know the way, then we know what to do. And even the healing, whatever the traumas or anything which we handle in life, how do we heal all these aspects? These things come to the point. So ways of our lives, how the living happens in these four, we can deal with many of the aspects, mostly 95% of the aspects happening in life, right? Now, first let us talk about the way of a warrior. What are the principles of way? What are every perception, every character, every way has its own principles. So in the same way, what are the principles of this warrior? There are four basically. One is choose to be present. We need to be present at that moment. Many times it happens, we always run behind the past, or we are focusing completely on the future. We are never on the present moment. So it is important to be in the present and always show up. Always, whatever is the situation, yes, I am there here. You need to feel within yourself that yes, I am there. Now pay attention to whatever has the meaning in it. Whatever you feel there is a meaning in it, you pay attention. Generally, what is when we are listening to a person, we feel, we don't feel connected at times because we are not at the present moment. The minute we are present, we know what we are listening. Unless you listen, you don't really understand whether that has got any meaning or not. Right? Just because we are not feeling attracted towards it, that does not mean the other person is talking meaningless. It is not. First, we are always, most of the time, it is like jumping into conclusions and judgments and opinions. First, listen. That's the way of a warrior. A warrior never escapes from anything on the name of, never hides himself behind the mask, judgments, opinions. So we need to understand all this. Now, whatever you want to say to anyone, whether it is your close person or you feel close to them, or your friends or your family or anybody, whenever you want to express anything to any person, tell the truth without any blame or any judgment. Don't say as a blame game. You can't say, so and so person is always being rude to me. This is like a blame. This is like judging. You are judging that person is blame. So you cannot do that. You can always say, this is what has happened and I felt hurt. Do I need to do something about it? Am I wrong anywhere? I couldn't understand. When you go into this way, then the happens even more. You need to question yourself. Warrior is not a person who will always blame onto the point. He goes on, has got meaning to his actions. Now be open to outcome. Always there is a point like, we are so connected to the outcome before we begin the process. Even in spite of knowing of the system of self-service and all factors of karma yoga and everything, somewhere and all, we are attached to the outcome. It is because of our attachment to the outcome, we are not living completion. We are living every aspect with some expression, some image which is not yet come, and we do not know whether it is going to happen or not. Based on that is becoming the force for you to move on. So you need to leave all this. You need to have a point of not expecting anything or outcome, but whatever is the outcome, be open to it. You have done your part, and now whatever is the outcome, you be open to it. That is the state of a warrior. That's a principle of a warrior. Now, what are the aspects of a warrior? Aspects of the warrior is always honor and respect. Respect everyone, honor everyone, because everyone in our life, whether they realize or they do not realize, have come with a particular, has come with a, a theme and a life lesson. They've come with a unique potential within themselves, which they will be it through their life systems. Okay, always honor and respect, and there must be a wise and sensible communication. Whenever you are communicating with anyone, make it more wise and sensible. Don't make it nonsense. Okay, make it always sensible. Let there be some sense in whatever you are communicating. And now know your limits and boundaries. A limit after the boundary. Why is this limit? Why is the boundary? Why do we have borders? It is to understand that, beyond this, cannot, move on. Right? We cannot expand ourselves. So we need to respect these limits and boundaries. Right? And now next comes the responsibility and discipline. How much we feel for our own actions. Okay, do we feel responsible? That is important. We need to feel responsible for our own actions. Whatever we cannot do irresponsibly, we cannot behave irresponsibly, we cannot act irresponsibly. We need to be responsible, because every action will have a reaction, either equal reaction. So we cannot simply say, oh, because of some person behaved this way and I did this. It is not an excuse. The other person's behavior is not an excuse for you to behave in some other way. So make it always wise. Be responsible for your own and keep a discipline. Maintain a discipline all the time, step-by-step process. And right use of powers. See, when we are talking about power, there are 3 universal powers. Universally, everyone can access is the power of presence. Your presence, your existence itself is very powerful. We need to understand your presence itself is the most powerful. Without you in that point of point of life, with that situation around you and with such circumstances, it would not be complete for a story to move on at the individual level and also at the universal level. So always honor your much important. And now the power of position. Whatever role you are playing, whatever position you are, there is a meaning to it. And always use the right way of these powers. One is power of presence, one is power of position, and one is power of communication. Yeah, good evening. So one is even the power of communication. These are the 3 powers everyone has. So rightly use these. When we use these powers rightly, then everything will hit the right way. Right? It goes. And now, what are the shadow aspects of a warrior? Every warrior has a shadow aspect. Aspect is something which is not visible, but that is there behind all the time going along. Okay, that is the shadow is like this being rebellion, being completely rebellion. Okay, rebellion is the person holds a fear of being limited. These people are going to limit me. They are not going to live me the way I want. So I become rebel. Okay, when we understand, when we use the power of presence and power of communication, the position, what we are, everything will be triggered in the right. Everything can be made up in the right way. You don't have to act behind the mask, right? And now there are authority issues, a kind of the fear of authority in childhood, right? It is kind of victimhood, right? When someone says you hold a victim and have a fear of authority, and that is not being healed, and the other person in spite of being so close to you, could not balance, could not understand this small aspect. Right? There's a fear of authority, and this authorities, that means the authority is shown so much that you are holding it since your childhood. Right? These are the authority issues, a shadow aspect of a warrior. Right? And next, patterns of invisibility, like it is a low self-esteem or fear. There is always a fear that, I don't want people to know about. Okay, there's patterns. This in as a patterns, it keeps on coming again and again as a pattern. This goes on repeating, where a person don't always want to be in powers. What we were talking about, the power of presence, the power of position, and the power of communication, all used in a reverse way. You don't want to be visible. You want to be, okay. All these aspects they are using in a different way. Okay, these are the shadow aspect, the shadow self. We need to understand shadow self always behave the opposite way. Not it's like a wise person. The shadow of a white person, a wise person is always behaving ignorant. Okay, these are the things we need to understand, that these qualities is we hold all these shadow aspects within ourselves. This is called the fake personality syndrome also. The fake personality, this is not what you are. This is, you need to put light on that so that it becomes what it actually. So becoming of a warrior is always be always visible, and bring a balance to both the energies you have. You don't have to be, one kind of energies all the time. You have to balance both the things, right? Holding the action and the creativity both together. Now the next one is, let us understand the way of a healer. When we are talking about the way of a healer, healing is all about the heart, about compassion, how much compassionate you are, where you are wanting, or any situation, any person or anything. Now we need to understand what are these kinds of love we generally see in the world. One is between two people, two mates, or lovers, or anybody, you can say, or a parent and a child, and then colleagues and friends, and then teacher and student, or therapist and client, all this. And now self-love and spiritual love. There are so many kinds of loves we generally, universally, we find. Now we need to understand what are the concepts of healing. Generally, what are the concepts we generally come in the concept of healing itself is a lifelong journey towards completion. There is something incomplete. The incompletion has to march towards. It is like we have started our journey from ourselves, and we end our journey into ourselves. Okay, so this healing is remembering what has been forgotten. You are remembering every aspect, whatever you have forgotten. That is what healing is. You have forgotten, oh my God, that has been forgotten. Now as an insight, the perception has come to you, that insight has come to you, as a realization, it has come to you, and then you have healed. There is a healing thing happened. And healing is embracing what you feared the most. There are many things we are scared of. Maybe the fear of authority, we are scared of our authority, or we are scared of our own positions, where maybe we are scared of death, we are scared of success. There might be anything. So healing is when you embrace whatever you are scared of. That is first thing. And now the healing is opening to be what has been closed. There are some aspects, as an escapist, you have closed it. You don't want to see to it. Okay. In this way, when you close and when you turn your back from a person, some things will not be healed. Some things will be healed only when you embrace it and when you accept it. These are the small mistakes everyone does. Right. And now healing is entering into a timeless moment when one experience, till one is the whole. It is a timeless moment. Healing is from one moment to a completion moment, from incompletion moment to completion moment. If a person is longing for love, unless he sees himself and he embrace himself with all the love, honor, respect, and everything, the completion is not happened, the healing is not happened. So the person will be always acting rejections, abandonments, judgments, opinions, all these things, humiliations, and all these things. Now, when the person meets themselves, all this, the healing has happened from one point to the other point, the end point, from the beginning to end. And now healing is creativity. That is what healing is. You have created something new. Creation is always not when what you lacked before, you have created it now. And it is like expressing the self into fullness. You are living your life. The life is into completion. It is completely expressing itself in its all fullness. And light and shadow, male and female, all these aspects, it is coming to a completion. It is learning to trust life. When you trust life, I'll tell you a simple thing. When you are sitting ideally, when you sit ideally and you are there, life. When if I say, all of you just connect to your life, you may not understand. How do I connect to life? But when I say, look at your palm, okay, raise your palm and you just look into it. Bring all your attention in looking to the palm. After a while, you will start feeling sensations in this palm. Okay, sensations, these are nothing but you are becoming more aware of whatever life is going on through your blood circulation or through your cells or momentum of cells, atoms, or whatever is there inside. Everything is life. So you are becoming life inside. So it is like now you are trusting. Now you have become aware and you have trusted this feeling. So you have trusted the life completely. So whenever you are feeling, in your own silence, whenever you are feeling a vibration or numbness or anything, it's like you are connecting to life. Now that is what healing is. And what are those healing methods, the principles, a story, the one storytelling. Whenever you say a story, it is the way of a healer. Right? There is a story, through a story, whenever we are here, one cannot be a storyteller. There are some, it is a quality of a healer where they can bring out this storytelling process. And now singing, dancing, and even the silence has got its own power of healing. Is the ultimate healer. Not only protector, but it's an ultimate healer. The silence has the capacity to heal you, even the wounded things which even you or anybody else in the world could not heal it. When the time could not heal it, the silence has the capacity to heal that, right? And acknowledging something and accepting everything. All these are the aspects of all these principles of healer. Every healer has to be in a state of gratitude and acceptance towards whatever is happening. Yesterday also we talked about gratitude for the health. It is not about eating good food and keeping healthy, going for exercises and all, keeping the body fit is not all. It is about holding the gratitude also. Holding the gratitude for whatever you are doing is also brings a beautiful health. So gratitude is a way of healing. It's a main principle of a healer, right? And what are the shadow effects, the unclaimed aspects of the healer? There's the addiction. It is a person is low tolerance or completely boredom, depression. See, depression is nothing but a continuity of doing things the same way. You are bored, so you are depressed. Whenever you are depressed, and it is not that, depression does not mean you are lost something, you are sad, you are this thing and all. You are simply bored. Now you have to change what your routines. That very minute, the depression all vanishes. Whenever you see you are feeling depressed, immediately change whatever you are doing, your routine life, whatever you are doing, immediately change it. Maybe it's long time you have not gone out, just take a break and go out. Or dance or sing or do all this something different thing which you never do in your routine life. That brings the healing, right? And the addiction to perfection. Some people want to be perfect. I want to be perfect. This person, the addiction towards wanting wanting to be perfect is like they know mistakes and they cannot tolerate mistakes. They're not tolerating the mistakes. This is the shadow thing. I don't want mistakes. I don't want any mistakes to happen in life. I want to be perfect. That itself says they're already standing in the portion of a shadow aspect. There are a number of mistakes in themselves which they are holding. Right? There's a need to know. There is an addiction for a person to need to know. They're always into gossiping. What is happening in their life? What is happening in your life? Even the spiritual shopping is becoming a gossip. In so and so place, that new subject has come, and now I need to learn that. So this is a spiritual gossip which has begun now, right? It might be, raising you high and your awareness and your thing, but to what extent? You are probably only listening to everything, but you are not applying anything. Then what's the point? What's the healing happening in it? So this is the shadow effect. This is like unclaimed. And what is not working, and it is like not recognizing us. That is one more addiction. For some people don't want to accept their own darkness and they always go into a defense mechanism. Right? These are the unclaimed aspects. These are the shadow aspects of a healer. In this way, healing can never happen for them. Right? And now what are the 8 healing principles? 8 healing principles is a balanced diet and a proper exercise, and time for fun, play, and laughter also. You need to have family time. Not just because there is a lockdown going on or everyone is at home, not much of going in and out, travel is happening. That does not mean right now you are with the family. You need to have, whenever you say, you close your eyes and where in your family members, what are they doing? You should have an image of always seeing them together, laughing or playing around. These images, these are the images which we have collected. How do these images come into the mind? When we do it more number of times. We have seen so many times that eyes have captured these images so many times. So that has become a fixed point. So when we close our eyes and when we say, where's my family members? Where are my family members? We all are laughing and watching TV and enjoying. Because this is the more number of times we have seen. So that is flashing outwardly. Right? So now even the support system, the love and the touch, when you touch a person, there must be some compassion. There must be, it gives a healing. When you support a person, it is a healing thing. How you feel, how you hold them. The old people who are, they're very low in their life system, they decreased amount of health. When you hold them with so much comfort, you are holding them, that gives the healing strength a lot. And now you engage yourself in your habits and whatever your hobbies are. They are creative patterns. They are creative purposes. You always be engaged. Keep yourself engaged in your creative purposes. There must be safety in whatever you're doing. And healing environment. Always create healing environment wherever you are. Make it your presence. Use your. I talked about the 3 powers. The power of presence, power of position, and power of communication. Use this completely. Use this in such a way, the right way, so that the healing is also happening. Right? And now there are either you are a full heart, with complete heart you're doing it, or open heart you're doing it, or with a clear heart you're doing it, or with a strong heart you're doing it. These are the 4-chambered heart. Where we say heart has 4 chambers. What are these 4 chambers? One is full heart, open heart, clear heart, and strong heart. Right? Acknowledge your strengths. Always, everyone is born with some strength and some potential within themselves. Always acknowledge these strengths and acknowledge the qualities you like about yourself. You don't wait for somebody else is going to come and give you a conduct certificate, but always acknowledge your own strengths and acknowledge the contribution you are making by your presence towards this entire environment, the world collectively or within your family. You have made or you have already made so far. The love you have given and you have received. Acknowledge every good thing that has happened in your life. Right? These are the ways of a healer. And now when it comes to the ways of a teacher, okay, we have talked about ways of a warrior and a healer, and now let's talk about the ways of a teacher. When we're talking about ways of teacher, always be open to outcome and not attached to outcome. This we have talked about the warrior also. Warrior, every spiritual warrior is a teacher. Right. So always, you give whatever you want to give, you give, but don't expect anything. But if anything comes, please accept everything. Okay. This is important. And now the wisdom part. Don't be attached to that outcome. But I say, when we are talking about whatever comes back to you, whatever you give to the world, that only comes back to you. But don't sit into that. Don't sit and keep on expecting that for whatever you are doing. You are doing whatever you are supposed to do. Whatever your passion is, whatever your good things is, spread out best. Whenever anyone wants to, think about you, let it be very positive. Right. And now next point comes of the wisdom. Have a clarity. Be detached. Detached and discernment is something where, we need to, it is like you are not holding on to one aspect. You are open. Wisdom is when you are open, when you are flexible in receiving and knowing many aspects. And now trust. Trust is being comfortable with whatever happens, even the uncertainty. Okay. Right now, this is the state. Next moment, the things may change and you are okay with it. You are very much comfortable with it. This is the theme of a detachment. Theme of detachment is like whenever you are saying, I don't care, that itself means I care. When a teacher quality says in you that I'm least interested, when the teacher, even in your childhood, you might have heard, teacher has said, I'm least interested. I don't bother even if you're coming late, but you are supposed to come to school and do your homework. That I don't care does not mean I don't care. It means I care. I care for your education. I care for your focus, development in your life, in your academics, whatever aspect. Whenever a teacher says, I don't care, that itself means the teacher cares a lot. Okay. And why this care word comes then? From where is this coming from? A care word is coming from the caring nature aspect only. And now loss and ritual is loss of attachments, loss of trust, loss of structure, loss of future, loss of meaning, loss of control. These are the losses and these are the things which we keep on accessing in life sometimes. When we are continuously losing, there are so many ways we are lost totally the time. We do not know what the future is, we do not know what the structure is. You have lost everything. That itself means there is a deepest lesson that from the darkness you have to rise above as a light. There is so much darkness around you. That means you are the light now. You are able to see. That is the reason you are able to see the darkness. You are able to see the loss. Right. So even the control is lost sometimes. All these kinds of loss. How many other laws are there? Everything as a ritual, everything comes. Again and again as a pattern, it is coming again and again. You have lost this, you have said this, and again you have seen another way, another point, another thing is lost in your life. Now these are the ways, so many things which we keep on and we learn and move on in life. This is a way of teaching how to deal with, how to utilize your own potential, your own essence in expressing your own life. Right? And ancestor spirits, ancestor spirits, there are some teachers who are there in our ancestors. They come from the family, whether it is a biological family or extended family or inspirational even the inspirational figures. You are inspired with some person in your life. That person is trying to tell you what is that inspiration, what is that aspect which is being inspired, which is bubbling out to tell us expression. Those are the aspects which you need to explore even deeper and bring into complete expression. These are the ancestor spirits. These are also a teacher points. And now what are the empowering generally uses is the inner journey, always going inside, inwards, and connecting to nature. And there's a silence, always keeps a silence, always following the silence is always the mark of the tool of a teacher. A teacher always silence. Okay. And now what are the shadow aspects? Shadow aspects is of positioning, patterns of positioning, always being in the hierarchy. I'm so and so in the position. I'm so and so. I'm that. Okay, these aspects, and there is a judgment, there is a control confusion, there is attachments. All these are the other way around. They're just like that. I just before I how I said the point I mentioned is a wise man's shadow is being ignorant or arrogant. Okay, wisdom and arrogance, all these aspects. Now, whoever present, the points to be remembered is whoever present at that point of time in your situations, in your surroundings, are the right people for that time. And whoever, whenever it begins, anything, whenever it begins, it is the right time. Okay, and whatever happens is the only thing that could have happened. And when it's over, it's over. Whatever has happened so far, every situation, whatever has happened, whatever is happening, and whatever is about to happen is the only thing that could have happened or happening or will happen. And once whatever is over, it is over. That is what we say, gatam gataha. Right? We have a, whenever it comes to the teacher and, the guruhood and all, we have a things that guru is a savior, a guru gives enlightenment, and guru takes all the responsibilities. Guru removes your karma. Guru is something, who lives in with some personality, some robes, and somewhere in Himalayas or anything, all these aspects. And Guru is somebody who will bless you with, whose blessings will remove all your doubts, all your ignorance and everything. There are some people, for every now and then they hold on the Guru's feet. They think, oh, if I touch the Guru's feet, then I'm done. All my ignorance will go, all my karma will be revealed. No. You need to take Guru's approval. There's many people who say for doing anything, you need to take a Guru's approval. Without an external Guru, you cannot progress. There is a phrase in Telugu, they say, Guru leni vidya, gudi vidya. So without Guru, without an external Guru, we think that we cannot progress. But Guru is an essence inside you. It moves on as you move on in life. It brings out the essence of Guruhood is the wisdom you hold inside. It is not the external personality. It is the internal essence that holds all the compassion, all the caring, all the nurturing, and all the pampering towards yourself that you hold. These are the myths generally we have for the, for the teacher and the Guru to be. And now when we talk about the last point of ways of a visionary. Ways of a visionary is making the true main point of the first important point of visionary is making the truth visible without blaming and judgment. Making it visible. Yes, you need to see this. You are making that so visible, but you are neither blaming, you are not judging. And now act from the authentic self. Always be authentic. Okay, being true is not enough. Being authentic is enough, because truth is, yes, I am egoistic is the truth. Probably, you said, but yes, I am egoistic. There is a sense of that truth inside you. You hold that emotion of truth inside you. This is authenticity. Now hiding the true self to survive. It is not possible. While you hide, when you are hiding to survive, when you are hiding, you need to understand it is like, you are keeping yourself. When it is coming to visionary, when it says, you are hiding your true self. Maybe you have known, because for you to move on in life, there are some people, they try, oh, I don't know anything about it. You're being very modest. Okay, or silence is the word, but you cannot hide the true self. These are the other aspects of a visionary. Now, what are the patterns of denial? These are the patterns which a visionary denies is need for acceptance, and the indulgence is the need for approval, acceptance and approval. It is the patterns of indulgence and also the denial. And truth telling is like, I'm jealous and I'm afraid of losing you. Whenever you're feeling jealous, how do you say the truth without blaming and judging? You say that I'm so jealous that I'm afraid of losing you. I'm disappointed because I thought this would be the phase. I never expected. Maybe I over expected. I'm disappointed because I over expected. Right? See, every visioner has a way of seeing, and one is the intuition. Intuition is the sense of perception, whatever you have perceived, whatever your perception, and then next, whatever perception you have perceived. Intuition is the source of perception. What is that you have perceived, and what is the root of this perception? And every perception is coming from the external, and is the perception which is coming from inside. It is the internal thing. And vision is a holistic seeing. Your completion. You are seeing yourself as whole, as a completion in this manner. Whether it is a storytelling, meditation, prayer, chants, introspection, and even the songs, all these things are the tools of a visionary. While walking also, the person, visionary, he's seeing something. This meditation is happening. The zero state is completely being in this zero state. There are polarities and paradoxes for this visionary. There are false identities. False identity is like when we look at about self-abandonment and projections, we look around and find the perfect person. Generally, what happens is we keep looking at it, and sometimes we find a person and we feel that he is the perfect person to hold our projection. Whatever we want to project, he is looking, it's completely perfect. And the projection, and slowly you see the projection slips, because what you are thinking about that person may not be that. That person might be something different. It is your perception which is getting projected there. And the projection is slipping off, and the projection begins to slip, and the projection totally falls off at one state. You feel, oh, I thought this person would be this. Now he's not like that. This person, I thought this so-and-so person, I thought this person would be like this, but he was no more that. I thought this person is God, and this person is no more a God. Okay, it is like recognition is the it is the grief which is coming from the lost part of ourselves. We have lost that particular part of ourselves somewhere. So once we have seen that thing in one person, we thought, that is it. But it is here. It is inside here, yourself. Now, compassion for an integration of that projection. You need to bring that projection into you and make your own reflection. That's when that compassion, the completion begins. A visionary is a person who sees everyone as his own reflections, and whatever corrections has to be happen, it happens. That is a true way of, being a visionary. So friends, these are the 4 aspects, the way of a teacher, healer, a visionary, and a warrior, right? So that are the 4 aspects where, every aspect has got its own way of living our lifestyle. We need to understand, always remember, whatever you hold, these are the 3 powers which everyone has: power of position, power of communication, and the power of presence. These are the 3 powers, and the seeing, the 4 ways of seeing what we hold. Seeing is, one is intuition, and one is perception, and one is the insight, and one is a complete seeing in all the directions. Seeing, the vision is very complete. Okay, all these ways of seeing. And always heal. True healing is embracing what you are afraid of, what you are scared of. Okay, and knowing all that. The teacher is knowing what you have already known, and what your exploration. You are knowing yourself more deeper and deeper. All these are the basic things which, these 4 things, one aspect from each of every way will make you deal with all your issues of life, whether it is your spiritual path or your physical life, or whatever situations you might be going through in life. Whatever it will make the much more better. If it is already better, it makes much more better. If it is going worse, then it will help you making better. Okay, friends. So this is the little aspect of this 4-fold way I wanted to share today. Tomorrow again we'll get back with a new topic, evening at about 7 o'clock again. Okay, friends. Till then, thank you.